All right, let's pull back the curtain on a film that, on the surface, looks like pure neon-soaked, high-octane action.
Right.
But the material we've looked at reveals layers as complex as any double agent's backstory. We're talking about Atomic Blonde, the 2017 thriller, Charlize Theron, David Leitch directing.
Yeah, and it's so easy to just get swept up in the incredible fight scenes and that amazing soundtrack.
Totally.
But like you said, the research we dove into, the articles they show Atomic Blonde, is actually way more than just a stylish spy thriller set during, those frantic last days of the Berlin Wall.
Absolutely. So our mission today, really, is to unpack this film using those sources.
Oh.
We want to uncover maybe 3 major thematic threads woven right into its fabric.
Yeah.
We're hoping for some of those aha moments, insights that go beyond the usual film chat.
Definitely. We'll dig into how the film portrays reality itself as, ambiguous, constantly manipulated.
Okay.
And how the whole spy world works as this powerful kind of unsettling metaphor for deception everywhere, politics, even relationships.
Right, the systemic aspect.
Exactly. And then there's this idea of destiny, not as some, mystical thing, but as this path shaped by hidden agendas, historical forces, but also individual choices.
So let's start with that first big idea then. The sources really hammered home how this film messes with our idea of what's real. It kicks off right at the fall of the Berlin Wall. Huge event, right? Changed everything. But did the film just use that as scenery, or was it doing something more?
Well, that's what's fascinating, and something one of the critical essays we read really nailed. Even with such a concrete historical moment, the film immediately signals, nothing is what it seems. Lorraine Broughton, Theron's character, she's sent to Berlin for this list of double agents. But right from the start, the film stresses that reality isn't solid. Even some reviews mention how it deliberately disorients you, the viewer, mirroring Lorraine's own experience.
It really is like a funhouse mirror, isn't it? Every character gives you their version, usually partial, often self-serving. Every action seems to have, a hidden motive. The dialogue often hints at the opposite of what's said. You're just pulled into this fluid world where reality shifts depending on who controls the narrative.
Exactly. And Lorraine, as a spy, she gets this fragility. She knows words and actions don't always line up. Survival means accepting reality isn't fixed. It's contested. It forces that tricky question. How do you tell truth from lies when lying is basically the default setting?
And the look of the film really pushes this too, doesn't it? All the cold colors, the shadows, reflections everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
It just keeps reinforcing this idea that reality is distorted, fractured, never shown head on. We feel Lorraine's confusion. We're forced to distrust every gesture, every seeming certainty. The way it's shot isn't just style, it's part of the story.
And this fractured reality isn't just about individual perception, it's about the system itself. The world is deception. If you connect this to the bigger picture, beyond the cool fights and chases, Atomic Blonde gives this stark portrait of espionage as a closed system where lying is just the norm. It's baked in.
Yeah, definitely not your grandfather's James Bond, like you said before. One article we looked at specifically analyzed how the film kind of deconstructs the traditional spy image. It shows a job that demands you basically erase yourself. A spy has no fixed identity, no single loyalty, no one cause. Their life is just a performance, a series of masks. And the sources are clear. This isn't just a personality quirk. It's required by the system.
David Percival, James McAvoy's character, Lorraine's contact in Berlin, he embodies that perfectly. Total ambiguity.
Oh, yeah.
His loyalty is, it's questionable, to say the least. Morals seem totally flexible. You can never quite pin him down. Foe, he's like a dark reflection for Lorraine, maybe. An agent swallowed by the logic of betrayal. Just a cynical survivor in a world with no solid ground.
And the sources pointed out that in this Cold War setting, the line between allies and enemies just dissolves. Spies aren't serving truth. They're serving the manipulation of stories. That list everyone's after, it becomes this potent symbol. It's not even about what's on the list. It's the power it gives whoever holds it. Information isn't for enlightenment here. It's purely tactical, a weapon.
What's really striking, and something that came up in both academic papers and reviews, is how the film shows espionage not as glamorous, but as brutal, dehumanizing, just ruled by cynicism.
Totally.
Spies aren't heroes, they're pawns, sacrificial pieces. Lorraine gets this, but she also seems to fight to keep some sliver of integrity in all the chaos. Our sources suggest that's kind of her unique struggle within it all.
Okay, so if reality is fluid and lies are the system, where does that leave Destiny?
This is one of the most thought-provoking parts for me. On the surface, Lorraine seems in control, right?
Yeah, she seems to be.
She fights, she lies, she survives. It seems like she's writing her own script. But then, bit by bit, you realize she's caught in this much bigger game, designed by powers using her as a piece in their own strategy. Destiny in this film isn't mystical. It's more like, as one analysis put it, the inevitable result of where each character stands in the huge machine of the Cold War.
Right.
It's almost like their roles are set by the history they're caught in.
So even with all her skills or strength, she can't escape being used by these bigger forces. Her path is sort of predetermined. Did the sources offer any wiggle room there? Any hope it's not totally fixed?
They did, actually. Her story, especially how we see it play out in the debriefing scenes, it also suggests Destiny isn't completely set in stone.
Okay.
Every choice she makes, who to trust, who to betray, how she acts in those violent moments, it shapes the outcome, little by little. Destiny becomes this tension. On one side, you have these big, seemingly unmovable historical structures, politics.
Right, the system.
And on the other, you have individual choices that can make a difference, even a small one.
And what I found really compelling in the material was how the film's ending. You know, the big reveal about Lorraine's true allegiance and how she ultimately manipulates the game herself as this fascinating twist.
Yeah, that's crucial.
It implies Destiny can be rewritten, maybe, by those who figure out the hidden rules and turn them to their advantage. She doesn't just endure, she kind of redefines her own path.
That's a powerful thought, isn't it? That even inside these seemingly inescapable systems, you can find agency. It really speaks to the film's ambition, going beyond just being an action movie.
And just like that, we've sort of navigated the treacherous, stylish waters of Atomic Blonde, a film that's definitely more than meets the eye.
We've seen how it argues that truth is slippery, reality is constantly manipulated, often shown in just fragments, making you question everything you see.
Right, and how Espionage acts as this stark metaphor for a society where identity is masked and loyalty is just, well, a temporary strategy in a bigger game. No fixed rules.
And finally, we looked at that tension around Destiny, how characters seem trapped by history, by the system, yet their individual choices still offer a way to maybe reshape their path if they're smart enough, maybe ruthless enough to grab it.
Atomic Blonde really does feel like a mirror reflecting its specific time, that huge shift with the wall coming down. It symbolizes that move into a new, much more uncertain global order.
And Lorraine Broughton herself, she embodies that uncertainty, doesn't she? Strong, yet vulnerable. Free, yet trapped. Her reality constantly tangled up with the fiction she creates.
So ultimately, maybe Atomic Blonde challenges you, the listener, to think about a world where that line between what's real and what's just a simulation, a convincing imitation, gets really blurry.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, you know, are we all, like the spies, kind of forced to play roles on a social stage that doesn't show its true face? And is your own destiny just this constant negotiation between what history throws at you and the freedom you have in your own choices? Something to think about.